Part 101. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 1002. Chapter 1002, Kill the owner of the stone gambling den. Expand your pet army. And the boy who was dragging the cutting machine came to the out-of-town jade shop owner with a grin on his face. Just start the cutting machine. I heard a scream. The boy frowned and said, I haven't cut it yet. What are you calling me? But when he saw the stunned face of the out-of-town jade shop owner, the boy was also stunned. Isn't it you who called me? Which turtle son called that? This young man, the foreign jade shop owner, and the two young men who were following the foreign jade shop owner all looked around in astonishment. I saw the jade shop owners sitting on both sides looking at the main seat in great horror. Following their gazes, these younger brothers discovered that their eldest brother had slumped down on his seat at some point, with bleeding from his orifices, a terrifying face, and a look of astonishment and fear in his eyes. For a moment, everyone was silent. The whole place became audible. He even held his breath. No one expected it. It was originally a scene to scare the monkeys, and to eat meat to the out-of-town jade shop owner. I don't know why, but suddenly I turned into the boss who dominates the stone gambling den and started to open meat. Brother! Brother! It wasn't until this moment that the younger brothers reacted. They hurriedly ran up and shook the owner of the stone gambling pit. But at this time, the owner of the stone gambling pit had been attacked by 9527, directly penetrating his brain. Although only his temples appeared on both sides. A tiny red dot wound. But the brain inside has become shredded. That is to say, the dead can no longer die. Seeing that the mission was successfully completed, Suchen arranged for 9527-19527-2 patrolled around the stone gambling den. After receiving direct evidence of the special requirements of the mission, he drove his Wuling Hongguang S directly and left the stone gambling field. Soon. A crisp system prompt sounded in my mind. Ding. Congratulations on successfully completing Level D bounty mission, Stone Gambling Boss. Current mission rating, perfect. Points earned, 10 points. Your current total points, 20 points. Ding. Congratulations on successfully obtaining the reward amount of 4.5 million. Ding. Due to your perfect rating, you will receive a special reward of 1.35 million. All of a sudden, 5.85 million in funds were obtained. Suchen's current bank card account balance has reached more than 110 million. Let's repair the car first, and then expand my pet army. Well, if I get a new pet, maybe there will be surprises waiting for me. Before, he acquired Mimi as a newbie as a pet. After evolving to level A, he obtained a healing needle skill. And this skill did not live up to expectations. It was a good start and he earned money immediately. 100 million. This is easier and faster than any other task. And it can be expected that Mimi's healing needle skill will also bring him considerable income in the future. At the same time, it will also provide him with it has a miraculous healing ability that is beyond modern medicine. It can be said that with this new pet, Suchen has an extra life. As long as his lifespan is not reached, no matter what injuries or poisons he suffers, he can be cured. Gone. The staff at Wuling Hongguang's Force store said that it would take 2 days to completely repair the car. Suchen simply left the car at the Force store and took a taxi back. He decided to take a break for the next 2 days. By the way, he was looking for a new car. Pets. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 1003. Chapter 1003 Invitation to the International Medical Exchange Conference. Well, pets like mosquitoes have very strong comprehensive capabilities. Continue to expand the 9527 series of legions, and then look for new pets. After making the decision, Suchen asked 9527 to go outside and bring 4 strong mosquitoes over. Then they all evolved. Ding. Consumption amount * 40,000. Congratulations on your new pet 9527-49527-59527-69527-7 successfully evolved into an F-class battle pet. Ding. Consumption amount * 400,000. Congratulations on your new pet 9527-49527-59527-69527-7 successfully evolved into an E-class battle pet. Ding. Ding. Consumption amount * 80 million. Congratulations on your new pet 9527-49527-59527-69527-7 successfully evolved into a class A battle pet. All of a sudden, Suchen only had more than 20 million in funds in his hands. However, he gained 4 new A-level battle pets. At this time, the number of Suchen's 9527 series of battle pets had already there are as many as 8. They are worthy of a fighting company. Basically, even if they face a battalion of heavy weapons troops, they can easily kill them. Of course, Suchen is not worried. After all, there are only 8 A-level battle pets, even if they are adding Mimi and 4399, there are only 10 A-level battle pets. According to Suchen's estimation, even if these 10 A-level battle pets are put together, they may not be the opponent of an S-level battle pet. Of course, if they attack an S-level killer together, it is estimated that there is more than 50% probability of victory. After all, the concept of a pet army has huge advantages for humans. Especially the 9527 series of battle pets are so small. The advantage is greater. If you are not careful, the probability of being counterattacked by Suchen's pet army is very high. I still have more than 20 million left, so what kind of animal or insect should I find to evolve? Just when Suchen was thinking to himself, the phone rang. It was Miss Gu's call. The voice was very soft and waxy. Is it Brother Su? This call from Brother Su is really affectionate. Well, what's the matter? Suchen said calmly. Brother Su, besides making jade, our Gu family's main focus is actually making traditional Chinese medicine. In other words, our Gu family is a family of traditional Chinese medicine. There are only some changes on the grandfather's side, but the second grandfather and uncle have always inherited traditional Chinese medicine. Tomorrow happens to be the annual International Medical Exchange Conference, and there will be many world celebrities attending it. Brother Su happens to have unparalleled life-saving medical skills. I think Brother Su is definitely qualified to participate in this International Medical Exchange Conference. So, I would like to invite Brother Su to participate in this conference tomorrow. As for the qualifications and invitation letters, Brother Su, don't worry, we will take care of it for you. After hearing Miss Gu's words, Suchen frowned. I'm not a medical student at all, so why not go to that conference to communicate? Seeing Suchen's hesitation, Miss Gu quickly said, that's it, Brother Su. The exchange conference will also have many wealthy people come here to seek medical advice. Hearing this, Suchen raised his eyebrows. Is there a wealthy person seeking medical advice? Isn't this walking money? Ahem, then just reluctantly go and take a look, Suchen said. Very good. I'll pick you up tomorrow. Ms. Gu's wife said extremely happily. After hanging up the phone, Suchen began to think about the next new pet. What should he choose? At present, I have 9 attack pets. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 1004. Chapter 1004, New Money Making Skills. Money Tree. As for the healing pet, there is only Mimi, which is a healing skill obtained by chance. If I want to create enough war pet legions within this month, I must obtain enough funds. But if you want to get the most funds as quickly as possible, doing bounties is actually worse than practicing medicine and saving people. Think about it, Suchen just saved someone so casually and got 100 million directly. There are a lot of rich people in the world. Rich people like those with a net worth of billions, or tens of billions, there are countless more. For the sake of his own life, what does it matter if he spends only a tenth or a fraction of his property? Thinking about it this way, treating diseases and saving people is the first choice for accumulating wealth. When Suchen has accumulated it, with a sufficient number of battle pet legions, when the time comes, hundreds or even thousands of A-level battle pets will rush over, and it is estimated that they will not be afraid even when facing S-level opponents. In this case, with more than 20 million left, I will continue to evolve healing pets. Of course, the idea is good, but what kind of pet you choose to obtain healing skills is completely a matter of luck. Suchen doesn't know which pet to choose for evolution. System: after any pet evolves, will it definitely gain healing skills? Suchen's heart suddenly moved, and he asked the system in his mind. Reporting back to the host, please forgive me that the system cannot answer such questions, and the host needs to explore on his own. Hearing the system's answer, Suchen rolled his eyes. Well, asking is like not asking at all. He still has to find out for himself. Now he started to search online. Well, in the theory of traditional Chinese medicine, venomous snakes, scorpions, centipedes, and other animals are actually a kind of medicine. They have extraordinary effects in treating some very serious poisoning states, so-called fighting poison with poison. Seeing this, Suchen thought, since venomous snakes have therapeutic effects, and their venom is a deadly tool to kill enemies, can he adopt a venomous snake to evolve? What if after evolution, I only have the attack power of venom and no healing power? At the same time, when Suchen was searching on the internet, he suddenly had a whim. Why do I only think about healing skills? In fact, beauty, or skills to delay aging and restore youth, are also very profitable. Even more profitable than healing skills. Thinking of this, Suchen's eyes lit up. You know, who is the most profitable person in the world now? Of course it's women. Women love beauty, and the amount of money they spend on cosmetics, plastic surgery, beauty, clothes, etc. is incredible. A few. If they knew that there was something in this world that could delay aging or maintain youth for a certain number of years, these women would go crazy. It is estimated that no matter how much Suchen's price tag, they would buy it like crazy. Thinking of this, Suchen felt that his idea was finally right. Anyway, I already have the healing skill of Mimi. As long as the opponent doesn't die, this skill can revive him. If you can get a battle pet that can beautify yourself, it will be a money tree. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 1005. Chapter 1005 is ridiculous. Swiftlet. Of course, the question comes again, what animal can have beauty skills? For a moment, Suchen fell into deep contemplation. I searched over and over again on the internet. After half a day, Suchen felt hungry even thinking about it. It seems that the only one that is sure to have a beautifying effect is the swiftlet. The saliva of the swiftlet is the bird's nest, which can beautify the skin. Am I going to adopt a swiftlet to develop beauty and beauty skills? After much deliberation, there is only one option at the moment. Suchen went to the subway again and came to the flower and bird market. He specialized in buying swiftlets. Handsome guy, the swiftlets we have here are the best in the world. A middle-aged woman saw Suchen visiting her store and quickly sold her pets. Look at this one, It has bright fur and a clear cry. It is definitely the most beautiful decoration at home. Even if you take it outside, it will still be a favor for beer. Suchen said calmly, what's the price? Haha, look at the handsome guy's kindness, I'll give you a 30% discount, only 28.88. Oh. With a 30% discount, you can still get 2,888. Only a ghost can believe it. You can just multiply 3/8 with the 30% discount. Suchen really wanted to ask her on the spot, what was her original price? Look at this little boss, can you figure it out in your head immediately? When you hear it, you are robbing people. Suchen turned around and left on the spot. He spent time with various war pets, and coupled with the changes in his own physique, he already has some feelings about animals. Suchen is here. When he arrived at the store, he looked at all the swiftlets around him, and he felt that they were generally wilted. The quality was obviously not good. Of course, the swiftlets here are all imported domestic swiftlets from Southeast Asia. It's not a protected animal made in China. Otherwise, I wouldn't buy it with such a big fanfare, otherwise the store owner would have been in jail long ago. Well, handsome guy, if you really like it, I can give you some discounts. Seeing Suchen leaving, the shop owner shouted quickly. But Suchen hated this kind of robbing boss the most. Even if we continued talking, he had no interest in it. He visited several stores in a row. In a young girl's shop, Suchen looked at the swiftlets around him. The quality was considered to be the best among the ones around. This shows that the store takes good care of it. Boss, how do you sell the swiftlets here? Suchen asked while looking at it. Ah! The young girl suddenly raised her head, and when she saw the handsome guy Suchen, her pretty face immediately turned red. Oh golden swiftlets, golden swiftlets. The young girl was inexplicably nervous. He looked like he wanted to look at Suchen but didn't dare. She was asked to look after the store because her mother was temporarily busy. Although she knew the prices of things in the store, she certainly didn't have enough business experience. Now that I met this handsome guy Suchen again, my heart was beating wildly. All the ways to make money were thrown out of the window. After finally organizing her words, the young girl blushed and said, well, my swiftlets are all imported top grade. The purchase price is only 500 yuan. My mother said that we usually make 50% profit, which means we sell them for 1000 yuan. Okay, I met a newbie. He actually told the customer the purchase price directly. Suchen was also a little dumbfounded, looking at this young girl with great interest. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 1006. Chapter 1006 New Skills. Detoxifying and nourishing saliva. The young girl became even more panicked when she discovered that Suchen was staring at her. His face was red, all the way to his neck. All of a sudden, the words became even more unclear. Suchen asked the purchase price was 500. Your mother said you would make half the profit. If you sell it for 1000, how much would you sell it for? The young girl wrung her hands together, lowered her head, blushed, and said nervously, I'll sell it to you for the purchase price. Suchen smiled when he heard the young girl's words. This girl, if her mother finds out that she is doing business like this, she will be beaten to death. Suchen shook his head. He asked along the way and found out that the price of swiftlets ranged from 2000 to 3000. There are even some shady bosses who quote 5000. The swiftlets in this store are not only of high quality, but also cost only 1000. Now this young girl even said that she would sell it to herself at the purchase price, only 500 yuan. Suchen thought for a while, he couldn't let the young girl get scolded. Besides, he is not short of the 500 yuan. Immediately, I paid 1000 to her, then picked the best swiftlet and left. The young girl kept blushing and lowering her head. When she heard the payment notification, she suddenly realized that Suchen had actually given her $1,000. Ah, no. You overpaid. However, when she looked up, Suchen was already gone. For a moment, the young girl was full of emotions again. He, did he pay me more money on purpose? What does it mean? Could it be, that he means that to me? I'm so embarrassed. On the other side, Suchen bought the swiftlets and returned to his rental house with the cage. Evolution began that night. Ding! Congratulations to the host, you successfully obtained a new pet. Please name your new pet. Suchen thought for a while. Just call it Golden Swiftlet. There are too many code names, and he can't remember them either. Instead, it's easiest to remember them by calling them names directly. Ding! Do you want to spend 1,000 funds to evolve your pet Swiftlet to G level? Yes. Spending funds *1000, your pet Swiftlet is evolving. Evolution successful. Congratulations on your battle pet successfully evolving to G-level combat power. Evolved to G-level combat power, Swift Swallow has not yet developed any skills. Suchen continues to evolve. Ding! Cost of funds *10,000, congratulations on your battle pet Swiftlet successfully evolving to F-level combat power. Ding! Spending funds *30,000, congratulations on your battle pet Swiftlet successfully evolving to E-level combat power. Ding! Ding! Spending funds *15 million, congratulations on your battle pet Swiftlet successfully evolving to A-level combat power. And acquire new skills detoxifying and beautifying saliva. Got a new skill? When Suchen heard the system prompt, his mind suddenly shook. Check out this new skill now. Detoxifying and beautifying saliva. One drop of the saliva of your battle pet Swiftlet can have excellent detoxifying and beautifying effects on humans, especially female humans, and the effect will appear within 10 seconds, which can treat about 3 people. The appearance of a 10-year-old woman remains that of a 20-year-old. The appearance of a woman at 40 remains the same as that at 30, and so on. This saliva can produce 10 drops per day. Seeing the effect of this skill, Suchen was overjoyed. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 1007. Chapter 1007 Heading to the International Exchange Conference. Done. With this skill, you can have a youthful look that is 10 years younger, and it can take effect within 10 seconds, so you don't have to worry about whether those women will go crazy after seeing it. When the time comes, I will sell this Swiftlet saliva as the top quality beauty water. 1 drop will cost 100 million no matter what. 10 drops a day, that's 1 billion. As for Suchen's price tag of 100 million per drop, Suchen is not worried at all whether anyone will buy it. As long as someone gives it a try, no woman will be tempted by this huge change of being 10 years younger in 10 seconds. By then, at that time, under the various demands of those crazy women, the rich had no choice but to dig into their pockets. In addition, Suchen's Swiss swallow is the same as Mimi. In addition to possessing the healing needle detoxifying and beautifying saliva, in addition to these skills, their own combat capabilities have also reached a level. Although it does not have as high an attack as 9527, a pet that specializes in fighting, it still belongs to the A level. Therefore, Suchen now has 11 A-level battle pets. Among them, there is a 4399 starling with the radar skill. A Mimi bee with the healing needle skill. A Swiftlet with the skill of detoxifying and beautifying saliva. Others are 89527 series mosquito battle pets. These 11A level battle pets currently form Suchen's most powerful battle pet army. Let's put the bounty mission aside for now. Let's see how much money we can earn after attending the medical exchange conference tomorrow. If I can really achieve my expected goal of making money, that would be great. Early the next morning, Miss Gu carefully sent a text message. Before sending this text message, she hesitated a lot. On the one hand, she was worried about waking up Suchen's sweet dream. On the other hand, if she didn't remind her again, maybe she was late. Of course, at this time, the Miss Gu family had already taken the old housekeeper and was waiting downstairs at Suchen's house. After all, Suchen was her grandfather's savior, so it would be a good idea to come to pick him up in person. It's nothing. Although her family is wealthy and powerful. As her grandfather said, a drop of kindness should be repaid with a spring, let alone saving your grandfather's life. On the other hand, in fact, Miss Gu's love for Suchen, I still have a lot of good impressions. In last night's dream, Suchen even appeared, and he was getting married to her. When I woke up in the morning and thought about last night's dream, Miss Gu was so embarrassed. In fact, Suchen no longer needs to be ordinary. Now he is basically practicing turtle breathing technique on the edge of the bed, or simply lying on the bed. Now his physique has been upgraded to the peak of sea level. So when practicing turtle breathing technique, he feels more and more like this. Although the door technique improves his physique very slowly, he can clearly feel the improvement every day. In other words, turtle breath technique is really effective in improving his physique. When he is Miss Gu's car, when he arrived downstairs, Suchen had actually sensed it. He practiced all night, and when his phone prompted a text message, Suchen also sensed it. He picked up the phone and looked at it. Suchen smiled and replied, "I'll be fine soon." After washing up, Suchen casually put on some clothes and went downstairs. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 1008. Chapter 1008 Private Customization. Very beautiful. Downstairs, Miss Gu, who was beautifully dressed, had already become impatient in the car and stood outside the car waiting. When he saw that Suchen was still living in such a simple building, he said to the old housekeeper, "Brother Su is a low-key person. He is so capable and rich, yet he still lives in such a low-key place." The old housekeeper laughed. Said, "The lady is right. From the car that little brother Su drives, we can also see that he is a good young man who doesn't like to show off, is low-key, calm and down to earth." In response to the old housekeeper's evaluation, Miss Gu's head nodded quickly with a smile. The old housekeeper saw the young lady's expression in his eyes and shook his head with a smile. With his mature experience, he could naturally tell at a glance that the young lady was strange towards Suchen. Love. But things about young people still depend on fate. Whether the two people can get together in the end doesn't count. It doesn't matter if he says it, or even if the lady says it. This thing has always been about mutual love, and it doesn't matter. God will grant it. When Suchen appeared downstairs, Miss Gu quickly stood up on tiptoes and waved her little hands. "Here, Brother Su." This cry is so crisp and sweet. After hearing this, other people around could not help but turn their heads and look over. When they saw Miss Gu's beautiful appearance, they were stunned for a moment. Then they saw Suchen walking over. I am even more envious. I feel that the two of them are really golden boys and girls, and they are a perfect match. Let's get to know each other again. My name is Gu Qinjian. Miss Gu family stretched out her little hand and smiled at Suchen. Suchen shook her little hand. "Suchen. We." Gu Qinjian secretly covered her mouth with a smile and got into the car with Suchen. The car drove smoothly towards the destination. Gu Qinjian looked at Suchen's clothes and said, "Brother Su, let me take you to a clothing store to get a dress first." Suchan said casually, it's up to you. Thank you, brother Su. When Gu Qingjian heard Suchan's answer, she felt very beautiful. She thought that Suchan was specially taking care of her mood. When they arrived at the clothing store, this was a private clothing store that only made private customizations. Of course, private configurations were also accepted. The so-called private configuration refers to some stores that have already made very good-looking clothes. If customers try it on and find it suitable, they can also buy it. Of course, the price is the same as private customization. And Gu Qingjian, in fact, asked this store yesterday. The store ordered Suchan's clothes. As for the size, Gu Qingjian had roughly estimated Suchan's size yesterday and reported it directly to the store. Now he just asks Suchan to come over and try it on. If possible, you can leave directly. Of course, under normal circumstances, making clothes is not so fast. This is what Lu Qingjian specially doubled the money to let the store rush to make it overnight. Suchan put on the clothes in the fitting room, and then walked out. For a moment, his handsomeness and temperament immediately captured Gu Qingjian's beautiful eyes. Looking at Suchan, she couldn't move her eyes away. It wasn't until Suchan waved his hand in front of her eyes that Gu Qingjian came back to her senses. Immediately felt ashamed. How about it? Suchan asked. Very, very beautiful, Lu Qingjian said with a blush. Looking at the other party's admiring expression, Suchan knew that the clothes were good. Then he asked, boss, how much does it cost? Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 1009. Chapter 1009. There are too many liars, you have to keep your eyes open. The shopkeeper bowed slightly and said, Sir, Miss Gu has already paid. Suchan looked at Gu Qingjian. The latter tilted his head and smiled and said, Brother Su, don't be stunned. The exchange conference is about to start. Let's go there quickly. Suchan didn't say much about this. After all, both for Suchan and Gu Qingjian, this little clothing money, which totals about hundreds of thousands, is nothing. Of course, in the past, this outfit was a huge sum of money to Suchan. But today is different from the past. Suchan has earned even 100 million, so what are hundreds of thousands? Not to mention, I don't know how much money I can make at today's World Medical Exchange Congress. It takes about 10 minutes to drive. Suchan and others came to the exhibition hall of the World Medical Exchange Conference. The entire exhibition hall is very grand. After entering, there are well-known experts from all over the world, as well as rich people from all over the world. People exchanged warm greetings with each other. Miss Gu's family held Suchan's arm tightly and led Suchan among celebrities. She also introduced various people to Suchan. Brother Su is a well-known medical master abroad. He won the Nobel Prize in Medicine 3 years ago and is a giant in the medical field. Suchan shook hands with the other party with some respect. But the other party just smiled politely at Suchan for the sake of the Gu family. This was basically the case all the way. Everyone was doing it for the sake of Gu Qingjian and the Gu family. He greeted Suchan politely. Suchan also greeted everyone politely. Of course, Suchan had respect for these world-class medical experts, but he was not very interested. His attention was still focused on all kinds of rich people. Especially those who are sick or have old and lascivious female companions. Sister Qingjian, it's such a coincidence that I can meet you here. At this moment, a young man dressed in handsome gentleman's clothing came over. Although his eyes were looking at Gu Qingjian, he had an inexplicable hostility towards Suchan. Of course, most people could not feel this hostility. But Suchan was not an ordinary person. After his physique evolved to the peak of sea level, he was very sensitive to this kind of induction. Although the young man did not look at Suchan, the hostility was there. Gu Qingjian obviously had no interest in this handsome young man. He pulled Suchen tightly and said, "Brother Su, this is Li Jiang who is studying abroad." Li Jiang stared at Suchen and said with a smile, "Sister Qinjian seems to be a little unfamiliar with your brother Li. Who is this brother Su? Why haven't I seen it?" Gu Qinjian said very proudly. "Brother Su is called Suchen. He has very high medical skills. He saved my grandfather yesterday. Very high medical skills. He. Li Jiang obviously didn't believe it. Suchen looked several years younger than him. At the International Medical Exchange Conference, the famous medical experts are all in their late teens and early 20s. At worst, he is in his 40s. When will a young man in his early 20s be called a highly skilled medical practitioner? And it was still at this kind of World Medical Exchange Conference. Li Jiang said to Gu Qinjian, "Sister Qinjian, there are too many swindlers in the market now, especially those young swindlers who are pretentious. You have to keep your eyes open. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion." Author, 7 years. Chapter 1010. Chapter 1010. A good dog doesn't block the road, please get out of the way. Anyone who heard Li Jiang's words would know that he was talking about Suchen. Gu Qinjian puffed up her face and said angrily, "I know best, and so does Grandpa, whether Brother Su is really capable. I don't need you, an outsider, to make irresponsible remarks." After saying that, he turned around and took Suchen away. After taking 2 steps, he turned back and said, "Besides, Li Jiang, your abilities are very ordinary compared to Brother Su." This was the first time Suchen discovered that this girl Gu Qinjian was actually so protective of him. But when Gu Qinjian said this, although she felt happy, Suchen also felt comfortable. But for Li Jiang, it was a slap in the face to Chi Kuokuo. "Compared with your so-called Brother Su, my abilities are ordinary." Li Jiang sneered. He walked over in a few steps and stopped in front of Suchen. He said proudly to Suchen, "I graduated from an Ivy League school and am studying for a doctorate in medicine under a well-known medical master. I published an article in a scientific magazine. First author paper, 2 second author papers. I would like to ask this Su, who has mediocre abilities compared to me, where did you graduate? Which master did you study under? Or have you achieved anything?" This, Gu Qinjian was speechless. After all, if Suchen compared his academic qualifications and academic achievements with Li Jiang, they would really be incomparable. Seeing that Gu Qinjian was speechless, Li Jiang became even more contemptuous of Suchen. "Haha, your brother Su must have graduated from some domestic pheasant university, right? Then he cheated and deceived your Gu family. Oh, silly girl Qing Yan, don't let the wolf enter your house." Hearing Li Jiang's cynicism, Lu Qinjian became even more angry. Especially when the other party scolded Suchen and her sweetheart openly and secretly. "My brother Su is a man of real ability. Compared with someone like you who is just talking on paper, I don't know how much better he is." Snort. "Good dogs don't block the way, please get out of the way." Gu Qinjian said angrily. "Haha, talking on paper." After being criticized by Gu Qinjian again and again, Li Jiang also lost his face. He was about to discuss things with Suchen. Suddenly, there was an uproar in the venue. It turned out that a rich man came here to seek medical advice after being seriously ill. In the process of looking for medicine, I suddenly became ill and fell to the ground. A group of experts immediately gathered around for treatment. At the same time, this was also an excellent opportunity to show off their medical skills, and it was also a place for medical masters to exchange medical skills. Take advantage of the opportunity. However, when everyone found out that the rich man had terminal liver cancer, they all shook their heads. They said to the confused woman sitting on the ground, "Your husband has terminal liver cancer. We have no cure. Hearing this, the woman cried loudly. Please. Please, all the miracle doctors. Aren't you world-class medical masters? With so many people, who can save my husband? As long as I can save my husband, I will spend half of our family property. Someone recognized this couple as a wealthy couple worth billions. However, cancer is a world-class problem that has not been overcome so far. Not to mention that this rich man has advanced liver cancer, which has reached a stage that cannot be delayed by drugs. Even if he is sent to the hospital now, it is of little significance because the patient has already entered the stage of cardiac arrest. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 1011. Chapter 1011. If you can save your life, I will eat a pound of shit on the spot. Even if you give him cardiopulmonary resuscitation, it will only aggravate his condition and enter the brain death stage faster. After Suchen heard Gu Qingjian's explanation, he directly pushed aside the crowd, walked to the center of the field, and said, "As long as you save your husband, will you give me half of your family property?" When the woman heard Suchen's words, she quickly cried. "Really? It's absolutely true. As long as you can save my husband, no matter how much money you have." Li Zhang, who was following from the side, sneered, "Oh, what the hell? It's like you can save me." Unexpectedly, Suchen took out the paper and pen he had prepared and said, "What you say is unfounded. Write it down and sign it, and I will save your husband's life." After hearing Suchen's words, there was an uproar around him. "What? Can he save the patient? What are you doing? Is it possible to save late-stage liver cancer? This is a slap in the face in front of medical masters from all over the world. This guy looked so young, but he didn't expect his brain to be abnormal, and he didn't know how he got in." Li Zhang heard Suchen's words and taunted loudly, "Haha! Can you save it? If you can save him, I will eat a pound of shit on the spot." Seeing Suchen's words and deeds, Gu Qingjian on the side suddenly thought of the scene where he saved his grandfather yesterday. At that time, Suchen also asked Gu Qingjian to write it down in black and white, and then saved her grandfather. Could it be, he wants it too? No matter how much people around him sneered at Suchen, no matter how much people around him tried to persuade women not to be fooled by Suchen, the woman who was at a loss and just wanted to save her husband quickly took Suchen's pen and paper and started writing. After he finished writing, he handed it to Suchen and kowtowed, "Please, the miracle doctor, save my husband." Suchen just squatted down to help. An old man said to Suchen in a deep voice, "Young man, not all money can be made in this world. It is normal for young people to make mistakes, but there are some things that cannot be done. If you do them, you will not only violate the law, but you will regret it for the rest of your life." Someone recognized the old man and exclaimed, "It's Mr. Zheng who won the Nobel Prize in Medicine. Mr. Zheng is Baidu, the Mount of Medicine in our country. This young liar is really lucky to get Mr. Zheng's guidance." Unexpectedly, Suchen didn't pay attention to the old man's kind words. Now he held his battle pet Mimi in his sleeves and asked the woman to unbutton her husband's coat. Then he touched here and pressed there. Secretly let him go. After the war, pet Mimi used healing needle on the patient. Suchen stood up and said, "Okay, your husband is cured." When everyone saw this, there was a big uproar. "What are you doing? Even if you are cheating, you still have to be professional, okay? Just a few or two fakes like this, and that's it? These days, even liars don't learn how to deceive. A 3-year-old child will know it's a scam when he sees it. It's really embarrassing to show up on such an occasion." Li Zhang also made sarcastic remarks. Only Gu Qingjian stood aside to argue for Suchen. "My brother Su is not lying, he really has the ability to save people. Yesterday he used the same method to save my grandfather. However, Gu Qingjian's mouth could not match the condemnation of a large number of people around him. Gradually, someone called the security guards to drag Suchen out to jail. But at this moment, the patient who had been lying on the ground with his heart stopped, suddenly started coughing.